welcome. You have clarity of your vision of your personal brand. You understand your values and your strengths. You've set your goals of where you want to be. And your skill set is ever improving with every new project. And your LinkedIn profile is updated and star rated. So the next step, and a most important step, is to broaden your connections and secure a support base that's going to help you into your career. In this session, we're going to learn about creating that support base, how those connections can help your career, and also 5 tips to secure long-time connections. Let's start up with the support base. So I'd like you to think of your support base is like a CEO thinks of his board of directors. They're advisors for when he makes decisions. And on a board of directors, there will be 5 particular people with 5 particular talents. The first one is your mentor. The second is your advisor. The third is a sponsor. The fourth is a connector. And the 5th is a curator. Let's look at your mentor. Now, a mentor is a person that has walked in your shoes before. They understand the problems, the solutions, the achievements, the adversity that you'll face. And they can advise through their experience of what situation you're in and how you can move forward. Now, the important thing about a mentor is that they are accessible, that they give you honest, positive and critical feedback, and most importantly is that you can talk to them openly and freely. Second person is the advisor. Now, advisor is a hands-on person, more of a technical, someone that you would ask for that, how do you do this, to be able to help you move forward. The third person is that sponsor. Now, a sponsor is a person that believes in you so much that they'll actually tell others about you. They'll talk about you on your behalf because of what you're trying to achieve. They actually go out of their way to support and help you move forward. As is slightly different to the fourth person, who is the connector. Now, the connector is someone that, like the word suggests, actually knows a lot of people and can help you move forward by introducing you to other people. Now, it might be a formal introduction, it could be an e-introduction, but it's about connecting to other people is what a connector does really well. And the 5th person is the curator. Now, the curator is a person that understands and knows your inner depths and your personal life and your professional life. They advise from the outside. They listen with empathy and they coach and question and challenge you from what position you're coming from. So your 5 people on your board of directors, the mentor, your advisor, your sponsor, your connector, and your curator. What I'd like you to do is list down those 5 particular positions and then place a name next door to each one. Make it a point to contact these people and have a discussion. Now, at first, there may be nothing to talk about, but when decisions come up, it is so much better to be able to share that with someone else. So you need a board of directors, be it 5 positions, but it mightn't be 5 people. You might have 3 people that can cross on those particular as directors. but it's about having that knowledge base and that support base. And they're good people. You respect those people and you trust those people. So write down that list, 5 positions and maybe 5 names or 3 names, but make sure you cover them with those talents. Now I'd like us to move on to connections and why that's so important. After the Fremantle Football Club sacked their coach, the burning question was, who will be their replacement? Now the chairperson, Dale Alcock, of the Fremantle Football Club, made it very clear that the new coach will have an ability to engage with young athletes and, most importantly, be well connected. So what is it about connections would be a prerequisite for the job? You'd think that it would be more about their skill set. But connections gives you more information. So when like-minded people get things done, they support each other by either delivering solutions themselves or recommending people that may have that solution. So hence, a well-connected coach comes not only with their expertise, but also that they can go and gain knowledge from other people that can help solve their problems as they arise. So being a knowledgeable silo does not allow for the unpredictable. So having connections removes the time and effort spent to build trust and credibility. And so adding value to your brand and being in demand in the fast track when you have a large network of connections. So you need to start building those now, making sure that when you are meeting people, that you are doing it with the right attitude that will help build your future, because those people you want to be able to rely on. Now, connection can be anybody, from a client to work colleagues to social circles. It can even be your hairdresser. It doesn't matter. It's every time you meet someone in the future, you need to be looking to help people. However, your intentions must always be authentic. There is no expectation for return. So how do we nurture and connection? And how do we allow people to trust us? How do we build that trust? And what is it that makes a really true long-term connection? It's all about in the giving, not taking, but giving. And gifts can be simple advice. It doesn't have to be tangible. It doesn't have to have a monetary value. So it can be in a position where you raise the positive emotion within the person that you are giving the gift to. Gifts can be simply giving people time to listen to a problem or physically helping them out in a situation. It can be recommending a person, a connection to support that person in their goals or their idea of moving forward. It can be sharing a link, a podcast or a TED talk. It could just be simply after having a conversation, sending a message just to say thank you. It's nearly like manners. So does everybody make that sort of connection? Not necessarily. And that's where your brand will stand out. Because you're the person that is going to intently help someone move forward. You are actually looking to support people in their endeavours and in their objectives and in their goals. Because you will be remembered for that help. So what would be 5 things that you could do when trying to help someone else? When you meet with people. So number 1, listen. Remember the 80-20 rule. 80% listening, 20% talking. Listen for what they are saying, not for how you're going to reply, because listening allows you to understand. And listen, with the second point, empathy. Empathy brings a connection and builds trust. It allows you to pick up on what their areas of concern are. It's where you find you can help to understand their goals and their pain points. Number 3 is question. Be like an interviewer. Ask those questions that make that connection. You'd like to understand, which is number 4, of where they're coming from. So what's their future look like? And how could you help them by understanding? And number 5 is respond. And that's where the gift comes from. Because you've listened with empathy and you've questioned to understand, you can respond in a manner that will resonate with them immediately. You can give the gift that resonates with them immediately. It can be a simple thanks via text. It can be, I was thinking of you after our chat, and here's a person that could help. Here's a podcast that I found, and here's something that will help you move forward. Now, why would we need all these connections? Think of it this way. We go to people for a solution to a problem. And if you're that person that doesn't necessarily know the answer, but can put you in contact with someone by a simple phone call or a message, that's powerful. That means that the person you are helping already has broken down the barriers to trust and to respect. You come with a recommendation. The larger the connection base, the greater the number of people you know and can help, will improve your personal brand no end. It will massively support your career. So here's what I'd like you to do, is actually to practice when you're speaking with people, to listen with empathy and to question, to understand, and then respond in some way, like a gift. Help each other. Help other people. That's what connecting's all about. So with your brand, build your association. Do it intently, but do it authentically. To finish off the session, I'd like you to have a look at this video that I made with Brad Cuff, a current partner of PwC. And he talks about his connections and associations with people, him connecting others and others connecting him, and how that was part of his brand and his success to become a partner at PwC Australia. Till next time, thanks for viewing. Luke George from By George. Fantastic. So you, interesting that you go about inspirational and people. You know a lot of people. You've got many networks. How important are these networks and who you associate? So with, there's a saying that says you're the average of the 5 people that you hang around with, basically. Do you feel that's true?
Yeah, I think it's critically true. I think if I look at my career and I reflect on it, it's not the roles I've had, it's not the titles I've achieved, it's not the salaries I've earned, but it's the people I've associated with that have defined my successes and my failures. And I think it's critical to understand that the people you hang around with, you do tend to become or be influenced by. And I've seen, over the last 4 or 5 years, I've actually found myself in an environment where I was around people that weren't sharing my values, that weren't sharing, who I believed was the right thing to do, and it actually dragged me down. I had to physically change the way I did that. I actually had to get rid of some friends, get rid of some connections, discard, and sit down and go, who do I think I can associate with? And physically had to go out and actually create those connections. So I think it's critically important.
Critically important. Now, I would go so far to say is that you're quite a connector.
Yeah.
You're someone that actually spends time in connecting 2, 3 groups. PwC, you've got a lot of clients that you move together. How do you do that, Brad? And can everybody do that, or is it a special skill?
So 2 questions. I think, can everyone do it? I think everyone has an ability to do it. Some people it comes very naturally to. Some people will do it without knowing. Some people it doesn't come naturally, but they can achieve it. Other people it doesn't come naturally and have to learn to do it. So can everyone achieve it? Do it? Yes, I think so. For me, it definitely comes naturally, and I think I do it well because 1, I enjoy it, but also 2, my motivations are pure in doing it. So a lot of times I'll connect people because I'll meet somebody and I'll go, wow, Luke's got a great skill in that. Oh, wow, Zach would really benefit from that. I should connect Luke and Zach because I think, there could be something there. So I actually go to an effort to connect them, not for no gain of myself, but for gain of, I think that could really work. And I think that creates a honesty in those connections and in those relationships. I think if I was doing it for work purposes only and specifically to get a gain, I don't believe that they would be as successful. You have to be honest with those connections, and I think your motivation has to be pure.
Yeah. So you use the word there, it's sort of more natural for you to be able to do it, but has there been a time, or can you share us a time, where you've actually connected 2 people for your pure reasons, and then the outcomes later on, there was quite an opportunity that rose from that, but initially it wasn't sitting there, but then over a period of time, something else big happened from it, so you might have met someone else. Can you think of something somewhere offhand where you just had put 2 people together and because of that, other things happened? Sort of.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think, I know you've got many.
There are many.
But just one that comes to mind.
No, there are. I think, these 2 students, Ian and Andrew, and Ian was actually starting his own business. Andrew had a skill, but didn't have the ability to sell work, had the ability to deliver it. And, I don't think initially I thought they would actually work together or have anything, but I did have this inkling or feeling that I should connect these 2. And I did connect them. They actually didn't connect naturally. I almost had to kind of force the connection, 3 or 4 times, take them out, kind of bash them together, and then I left it, walked away from it. And probably took about 12 months. But 12 months later, Ian phoned me. He said, "Oh, you won't believe it, but Andrew and I kind of got on. I've got a bit of work. He's working for me. We've actually started a business, and it's actually going really well."
Fantastic, fantastic.
And that's one of those more unnatural connections.
Yes.
But I would say that I've been amazed that some of the connections that I've made has actually turned into lifelong friends.
Yes.
Or even turned into career opportunities for both of them.
Yes.
And more often than not, they've been beneficial to both parties.
Yeah.